Comcast finally does a good thing. Spotify is finally giving you high quality audio, and Chick-Fil-A drive-thru information. Let's get into all of that in today's episode of Hot News, where we bring you the hottest tech news that I can find on the internet. I'm your Brett host. Let's jump on in to the title story today about Comcast finally giving up on trying to implement data caps on their Northeast customers. They've been trying to do this for several months, and now they're gonna do it next year instead of this year. Hurrah! Comcast saying that we are delaying implementation of our new data plan in our Northeast markets until 2022. We recognize that our data plan was new for our customers in the Northeast, and while only a very small percentage of customers need additional data, we are providing them with more time to become familiar with the new plan. Let me just reel you in on this. Comcast, I know you're an ISP, but here's the thing. Nobody needs additional data because data moves through the tubes, all right? And just because they're doing more movement in the tubes doesn't mean you need bigger tubes in order to get it done. Setting the bandwidth, totally fine. Charge me more for faster speeds, but charging me based on the data I use is absolutely bullcrap. I don't care if it's new or not, it's nonsense. And I have to deal with this with my ISP where I live. Cox, you suck. I pay $50 a month in order to get unlimited data, and it's absolutely garbage. I would not do it out of protest, but then I would get slapped with higher overage fees because I actively use all of it for work. So dang it, I don't like it. Them delaying it is a good thing, but they're with a very small percentage of customers need additional data. That's not how this works. There's no additional data to need. Like it's a non-statement. The rollout is essentially trying to get customers to pay for their $30 per month unlimited plan, which thanks, Comcast. You just, I hate data caps so much, but Comcast is doing slightly the right thing. I don't know. Let's talk about another data implementation. T-Mobile announcing the Magenta Max plan, which is going to come with true unlimited data, which just, why? Can we just have a rule that you can't say unlimited if it's not unlimited? This just reminds me of the Seinfeld episode where he talks to the lady about the reservation. Listen, you can take the reservation, but delivering the reservation is actually the most important thing. Just because you reserved it doesn't mean you actually did anything. If you just say it's reserved, you have to actually deliver the thing. My data is not unlimited if it gets capped at some point. Frustrating. Okay, anyways. The Magenta Max plan is actually not too bad, $57 per line, unlimited premium data, 40 gig hotspot, unlimited 4K UHD streaming on things like Netflix. It's not a bad plan. Whether or not you want to roll with T-Mobile's up to you, but just want to inform you of the new plan. I'm branty today. I'm so sorry, friends. Let's talk about Netflix, which you're going to need that T-Mobile plan for. It has announced a new feature that will automatically download shows based on what you like. Downloads for you, just basically based on algorithm stuff, will automatically download shows that you might want to watch. I branted so much, I'm out of breath. It's opt-in. You can choose how much data that it actually takes up on your phone, 1, 3, or 5 gigabytes, and then it'll actually just store it in a folder for you. I think this is kind of neat, especially for people who are taking frequent road trips or even on planes and don't necessarily want to decide what to watch. Netflix decides for you, and then you don't have any other options because you don't have data because you're on a plane. And now we have data that Apple has overtaken Samsung in smartphone sales for the first time in 4 years. This is in part due to Apple growing 15% year on year, where Samsung lost 11.8% year on year in sales. But apparently it wasn't just because of Samsung's decline. It was also due to the fact that other companies such as Oppo, Xiaomi, and Vivo grew their brands and actually took up more of the lower end market share that Samsung typically benefits from. So Apple not necessarily taking from Samsung, but rather Samsung getting cannibalized at the bottom. And Microsoft Word is cannibalizing features from Google, with Microsoft Word now getting text predictions next month. Hey, predict what I'm gonna say next, Microsoft. I'm never gonna give you
up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you.
And a feature that I'm excited for, except for I'm not excited that I'm gonna have to pay more for it because I already pay for Spotify Premium. Anyway, Spotify announced their HiFi plan, which will give you lossless streaming later this year, saying that they'll deliver music in CD quality, lossless audio format to your device and Spotify Connect enabled speakers, which means that you can have all that you want. So they're joining Amazon Music as well as Tidal for having the best audio quality. But the question is, how much is it gonna cost? Because they have to subsidize their podcast acquisitions somehow, which they announced that they're also also building out a machine learning powered podcast discovery tool, kind of like how they have for music, where they recommend new stuff. They're going to start doing that with podcasts because they're betting big on that. And I don't want to listen to podcasts in the same app that I listen to music. It just bothers me for some reason. So I'm not planning on using this, but good on you, Spotify. And in yesterday's episode of Hot News, we talked about the United Airlines flight that actually had some engine troubles and resulted in some plane parts hitting people's houses. Well, there's new information coming out on that. The FAA reporting that 2 fan blades on the plane's number 2 engine developed fractures, which led to the damage that happened, with the FAA then coming out and saying that immediate or stepped up inspections of Boeing 777 planes equipped with certain Pratt & Whitney PW4000 engines needs to be taking place, and Boeing saying that you probably shouldn't fly it until you do the inspections. But Boeing's just not having a great time. United Airlines saying that they voluntarily grounded 24 of those aircrafts that have those engines in there, but thankfully Boeing has a new CEO, because this is some rough stuff that the other guy let happen. Okay, I know this has been a branty episode. I'm going to go into another brand about Chick-Fil-A for a second, because there's some new tech developments that are going on with Chick-Fil-A's drive-thru, with them turning to iPads and FaceTime to help speed up drive-thrus. This is not something that's necessarily new, because Chick-Fil-A drive-thrus have people who take your order on iPads as they come up to you, and that's kind of what sets Chick-Fil-A apart. But the difference here is that people can potentially work from home while still manning Chick-Fil-A's drive-thru. Chick-Fil-A saying that this is great because it allows them to still work while not having to be outside during extreme weather, such as snowstorms or anything else that's happening right there. But I appreciate the sentiment behind that. Actually keeping your workers safe is great, but I just hate Chick-fil-A drive-thrus. They're always backed up, and it's not necessarily because there's always more people there than everybody else. It's just that they're wildly inefficient because, number one, I don't know what I want. I don't go to Chick-fil-A regularly enough, and whenever I drive up to them, I look at the person, and they're like, "Hi, can I take your order?" I'm like, "Yeah, can I see a menu?" And they're like, "You want a menu?" "Yes, I would like a menu," and then they have to scurry off and go find one because they don't keep one on them, because they don't allow me to just go up to a drive-through speaker box where the menu's right there for me to actually review it and then give them my order. And then also, in a lot of the ones that I've been to, they don't necessarily take your card at the same person who takes your order. Why would you not do that? Why do I have to stop at a dedicated payment facility? They're trying to be different by not having these different drive-through windows that you go to where you have to give the person the card and then all that. It's so frustrating. Just the person who takes my order is also the person who takes my payment. That makes a whole lot of sense. I'm not sure why they're not doing it. Anyways, I hate Chick-fil-A drive-thrus. Going to Chick-fil-A is just an awful experience so far, and I don't like going there. Anyways, you don't have to go on this rant with me any longer, because this episode of Hot News is over. Don't forget to check out today's earlier episode right over here, or you can catch all of the episodes that you missed this week in our playlist right here, my friends. Thank you for watching this episode. We get in the hottest tech news for you out on the internet. I've been your Brett host, and we will see you tomorrow. Cheers.